Okay, just a little short delay. There's some new thing with the Prism Live Studio where I have to manually select the go live on YouTube. So I think we're good to go now. Okay, hi, I'm Glenn at COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round, what I got for you? Well, we're talking about a few things. Let's see, just make sure I got this here. You're on video. Hello. Okay. Check, 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 check. Okay. All right. Bottom line, we have here are some Senkos. Right here. Right here. Let me give you another view of it. Right there. Yeah. Gary Yamamoto custom baits 4-inch Yamasenkos. This is the, let's see, the light green and, let's see, light green pumpkin, small red flake, and the 4-inch Yamasenkos. Those tend to do well at our local pond. I've tried 5-inch as well as the 4-inch, and it looks like the 4-inch seems to work better. And guess what? I use it on the bait finesse style fishing. Additionally, I use these. Well, this is the VMC. It's a little bit cheaper than other ones I've used, but I seem to like this one. VMC. I got them at Cabela's just recently. Here, it's the 2-aught. Um, well, let's talk about some Senkos. One thing about Senkos is how to rig them. One of the things you got to be careful of is when you're first rigging them, you got to make sure you have them on there straight. So there's a collar on here, and there's your hook. I'll just do a real quick demo how I like to set up a Senko, because guess what? We're shifted over from cold weather to cold weather season to the warm weather season, and I'm hoping that well, maybe able to catch a bass or two, especially since well, it's a little bit chilly this weekend, but things should pick up as the days go by, and we should be able to start catching some of those bass on beds, especially in the pond fishing. So from the sequence of events over the year, I'll typically in the cold weather months fish for trout, and then I'll shift over to uh, pond fishing to fish the bass spawn in our local lakes or local ponds, and then I'll shift over to kayak fishing over there at our local lakes as well as other places. So let's see, from G Biscuits, only worms I have luck with is with a curly tail. Okay, well that's good. Try a Senko. All right, the big thing about the Senko is you could fish it wacky rig right here like this, and it'll just kind of flop like that. Additionally, if you do it Texas rig, which I like doing the Texas rig, um, and you first cast it, it kind of does a little wave, little action like this. Ooh, and that seems to elicit a lot of strikes, and especially this time of year, especially on the bass on beds when they're spawning, you can get them to strike. You might give that a try. Curly tails are good. Do try one of these Senkos. So let me explain how I like to set one of them up. Let me put it on the little close-up camera right here. So the big thing when you're setting up one of your Senkos is this collar piece and making sure that it's in line, so it's not curved or anything. So what I tend to do is I'll take my hook and I'll get an idea as to where I should put the hook. So right here, I can see that the hook's going to be right about here when I put it on here, okay? So when I set it up, I'll put the hook on there like so. All right, and I've used worm hooks before, but uh, in this case, this is what was on sale at Cabela's. So hey, I'm going to use these. And right here, where I kind of put the point, was back over here where I noticed that's where the point would be once I put it in. And so I'll just slide it in, and let's see. Oops, missed that one. Right here, I'll slide it in and get this one. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. I have to overshoot it. I got to remember that. Okay. Okay. All right. And I've used worm hooks before, but this works too. The main thing you want to do is make sure that you have it on there straight and you got this so it's weedless. When the bass strikes it, you'll still be able to hook it. All right. So that is a Senko right here, rigged for some bass. All right, give it a try. All right, and there's some other things that I suggest when it comes to fishing. And in this case, let me show you a video. This is one that I had posted several years back on how you make your Senkos last a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and run that one real quick.
There he goes. All right, you got it. All right, Senko works. All right, when we get our Senkos all beat up, we'll bring some super glue and we'll super glue them in place here. Little super glue. See if we can get it to work another at least another cast or two. We'll see here in a moment. We'll just squish it in there. All right, just push it in tight. Okay, and then usually we'll flip it around too, so that what is it? We'll flip it the other way right here, and we'll just get that one on there instead and see what happens. That way it'll just stay on just a little bit longer. Maybe we'll get another one to hit here. I got one. After I don't know how many misses, finally got this guy. All right. Senko, Emerald Senko fishing rod. Woohoo! All right, so got beat up on the end here, so we'll kind of pinch it off here, and then we'll flip it the other way and cast it out again, and hopefully we'll have another one.
All right, so this round we're able to make use of that Senko by using that super glue as well as flipping it over and adjusting the tip or snipping off the tip so that we can keep using it. And so here's where we've got a bass interested. He wants to take the Senko. We've shaken it a little bit. He's committing. He's coming in. He's got it. He's going to run. We set the hook, and there he is. Nice little bass. His buddy is actually bigger. And that Senko rod that we're using, M-rod fishing rod, is working out really well. And add that super glue piece as a tip to make keep those Senkos lasting a little bit longer for these trips. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what it was like to use some super glue as well as flip the Senko around. That way you can last a little bit longer with those Senkos because they do get torn up a little bit. You can use them wacky rig. I've used those before, but I tend to like them Texas rigged. And in this case, in the video, you'll see that I'm using a worm hook with a little bend. In this case, I'm just using the normal hook right here that's just got a straight shaft. I'm tried that out with the bait finesse gear that I have and see how that goes here in the upcoming few days or so. And then again, we're talking Yamo Senkos, Gary Yamamoto. I did notice when I was at Cabela's earlier today that they did have these different ones, these swim Senkos that have a little paddle tail. That look pretty interesting, but I tend to like using the traditional, well, the original. In this case, the 4-inch, and this is the little green or light green pumpkin small red flake that I tend to use when I'm out there doing a little fishing. All right, let's see. I want to show you another video just to give you an idea of how I like using the Senko. So let's just grab this other video here. All right, give me a second. I gotta find the. Where is it now? Okay. Let me stop this. All right, got little technical difficulties here while I find where this video is. Okay, come on. Oh, there it is. Okay. This one is right here. See if I can get this one started. Okay. I think I'll be able to start this one here shortly. Let me just shift over. Okay, 19 bass with Senkos this round. So I went out to the local lake, or the local pond, Bethany Lakes, and had a little fun with some Senkos. And I just wanted to show you different things that happened during that trip that may be of interest for those that want to go and try to do some fishing here with some Senkos here shortly, or at least in the next few days.
May 24, Friday, and we got our first bass on an ultralight using Senkos. Good stuff. And here's bass number 2, also on the Senko. This looks like they're in the spawn too with the little red tail. Good stuff. And here's bass number 3. They are definitely still here, and they definitely like the Senkos on a weightless Texas. And here's bass number 4. Looking good, looking good. All right, here's number 5. The 2 steps from where we caught the other one, bass number 4. So not bad. Total of 5 bass so far. All right, here's a little guy. This is bass number 6, we think.
In fact, let me go ahead and skip over.
Bethany, our estimated bass. Then we're going to call it. It's starting to get dark.
Oh, wow.
Time we put the video together.
Go put a different
Bottom
video
line,
on.
worked well with the Texas Rig Weightless Senko, 4-pound test, ultralight gear.
With Senkos with a new
Yeah,
bass
another
fishing rod.
fun time here at Bethany Lake.
Okay, bring that one up here real quick. And this one, I believe, is
new rod and more bass on Senkos.
A new
Head
rod.
out to Bethany, a little bit misty, some rain here and there, but bottom line.
And the key takeaway here is I'm using a different line. This is this high vis
name brand
orange
Gary
line.
Yamamoto Senkos.
Right here.
Got a new rod over there at Cabella's on sale. So, hey.
Okay, right here, this is this orange line. It looks orange, but when it goes in the water, it disappears. And what's cool is it's a high vis line, and when I'm fishing with Senkos, I tend to watch the line to see if there's any movement. And in most cases, I'll see that the bass has picked up the Senko and ran with it. And with that high vis line, I was able to use it. And I forgot when this was. This was like several years back. And it's this orange line that disappears once it gets wet and whatnot. But bottom line, it's still good to go. All right, let me see if I can run it again.
Can't always hurt to have another fishing rod. Bottom line, went with this optic trilene that you can definitely see the line, which helped. And we would cast, and we initially started doing a stop and go retrieve, stop or cast. Let it sink for about a 12 count, and then maybe turn the handle once or twice, and then do about another 4 or 5 count, and then watch for any movement on the line, seeing if anything would hit it. And then later on, when that kind of stopped working, we noticed that if we cast and just let the rod or let the sink, we were getting some good hits in that manner. Here's an example of how we reuse a Senko where we've already torn up the front end or the normal end. We go to the end, the tail end that's narrow, and we go ahead and just hook it up that way.
So bottom line, I'm repurposing the Senko to where I've torn up the one end because it's bass have been hitting it. Flip it over, put the use the tail now, and put your hook in there, and you're able to keep fishing a little bit longer. Plus, I had that earlier video where I was talking about using some super glue to kind of tighten it up and fix some of the breaks that you get there. So, hey, keep it in your back pocket while you're out there. Some super glue, hey, it's very helpful.
And that gives us an extra little life on using these Senkos. So here's one we're just going to pick up the line, let them run with a little bit. There's the tug, and we go ahead and set the hook on that one. So we were setting the hook. We pull back on it, and then we noticed that we were getting some better hook sets when we would just take up a lot of the slack. It's a good ratio reel, fast retrieve on it, so we can just reel quickly and pick up any slack, and next thing you know, we've got the bass on there. Largest one went about 14 inches. Everything else was anywhere between about 11 to 12 inch, 13 inch. Again, largest one went about 14 inches. There's the back pond. Everything's a lot of rain and whatnot, so we're seeing a lot of high water here and there. So over the course of the next few weeks. We should probably start seeing them coming to the shallows, especially when things warm up, and start looking for them in their beds as well. There's another bass. Using that weightless Texas rig, just like we post on hub pages, our 4-inch Senko article. Bottom line, I'll tell you everything on how we rig these Senkos. There's another one coming in. Overall, it was a consistent bite, steady action. Missed a bunch. Also caught a good amount. Had a really great time out there. Saw some other folks come out.
So the thing that I want to show here is when you're using Senkos, you have the opportunity to, one, you can reuse the Senko by flipping it over. You have some super glue as well to help tighten it up and close up any rips or gaps in the particular Senko so you can use it longer. I like using the Texas rig in the particular area that I fish. And additionally, in this case, I caught a good number. This time of year, it's a good chance that you might be able to get some nice sized bass over there that are bass on beds, getting your Senko to kind of flop right into that bed, or you can kind of do a little drag where you'll cast out the Senko and let it sink, and then just slowly do a stop and go retrieve, bring in that Senko, be it weedless, you're rigging it weedless, you'll be able to probably get some surprising bites. So I would say give it a try. The Senko is a really good one for us in particular. The ones that work for us here in the local pond is the 4-inch size, 4-inch Gary Senko, and it's the light green pumpkin small red flake. I've used the 5-inch one in different various colors and whatnot, and I find that consistently in our pond in particular, it seems to get more strikes there. So this year, normally been using, I've got some bass fishing rods, bait casting rods, but I've shifted over to bait finesse style fishing where I'm using some really light line, 4-pound test line, 2-pound test line, and a bait finesse style reel that's able to cast 1/16 ounce reel or lures with no problem. And so although I can cast with a bait casting reel, a Gary Yamamoto Senko with no issue, I tend to be able to cast it even better when I'm using bait finesse style. It's less backlash and well, it's ultralight fishing basically. Anyhow, I just wanted to get that out there. Keep that in your back pocket for some Senkos this season, especially this spawning season. You should be able to get some nice sized bass out there. And if you do catch anything, let us know how you did. We definitely like any pictures or well, any comments, any updates from the teams, or correction, from our viewers out there who may be able to be catching some nice sized bass. This is the time of year to catch some nice sized bass with them spawning. All right. Till next time, we'll catch y'all later, and good luck and good fishing.